kind of innovativeness among the youth of today. But I think in the Upper West, we are doing quite well. A couple of years ago, I think we are not, like this, but I think for now, there's a lot of improvement that I think we can still do better.
Thank you very much, Dr. Igale. So, Madam Maria, you are with the Northern Development Authority, is that not it?
Yes, please.
So, what opportunities do you would you be able to identify in working with the innovation hubs that are at the forefront of digitization and digitalization in the Upper West? Noni Hub, which is leading in organizing the regional event, Yisin Tech Hub, TechNeg, and others that are also emerging. What opportunities are there for partnership, for collaborating and innovating together for digital transformation and impact in the Upper West?
Thank you very much. For Noni Hub, I have been with them for some time now. Yesterday, I was on the panel to see the young developers.
That's good.
So for Upper West, I can say that to start with that, even before I come to your question, I think we have advanced a lot when it comes to digitalization.
Fantastic.
If we have young people here who are developing apps, I think we've gotten somewhere.
They are winning national competitions too.
Yes. So in digitalization, I think we are somewhere with a first bit of it. The other bit is to get people in Upper West to get to use what the developers are doing, to get a digitalization out there, and for us to get the benefit of it. What is the use of digitalization? In all of it is that it should be able to make our work easier. It should be able to give some development to us personally, our businesses, whatever we find ourselves in. It should make life easy for us. So now in Upper West, I can boldly say by my association with Noni Hub and Decent Tech Hub, I have had some collaborations with them. I know they are developers and their digitalization is on a pedestal, and it's left with us to get the users to buy into the idea. And I believe Upper West would get benefits from digitalization. Of course, we already are getting the national ones, like the health insurances, the free SHS. You don't have to go to a school to get your child in school. When you go to the bank. Only yesterday, a boy that I usually work with was like, hey, when he went to Stanbic Bank, he could actually just go in and tap on some screen and get his bank balance.
Like the way they are registering here.
Exactly. So when I got here, I was just like, okay, I know I have gotten to the right place. Because if I didn't find that here, I would have thought I'm in the wrong place. Because in Accra, that is what we see. But if I get to do that in Wa here too, that means that is what has actually arrived. So with collaborations, I think sitting here is one of the collaborations I have with some of these hubs in the region. Pahebo, Noni Hub, Eastern Tech Hub, these three I work with. So when there's an opportunity for us to help in panel discussions like yesterday, this discussion that we are having, meeting someone, getting them to get some form of help, they could put you in. But at the end of the day, we get to arrive at where we all want to be. Thank you.
Dr. Friye, the mic is coming to you. It's coming to you because of the work that you do as an expert in computation, in computing. What do you think are the opportunities available for the tech hubs here, for academia, and for government? Which areas can they partner for local level development enabled by emerging technologies, for instance?
Thank you very much, sir. This is a very good and interesting question to me because we are now in the world of technology. Specifically, let me talk about how we have moved over the years, briefly, where currently we are into generative artificial intelligence. We have moved over the years. You see, now you can walk to, let me use my brother as an example, like use the medical officer. Yes, you can walk to a hospital, you see a medical officer. He's able to predict when a patient will pass on. Why? It's because of artificial intelligence. And that is also an area that I'm into, because you see, we are able to detect when someone will pass on, taking blood samples or whatever. So we are moving. And for us to have young innovators like this who are able to code in Python, I think it's a very interesting language that we can learn, where we can predict the future, not only in businesses, but telemedicine. Let's even look at Netflix, how they transformed, where they were selling DVDs. Now they're doing everything online, streamline online, and Amazon as well. So I see all these good things in these people here, and I believe if we continue to give them the support, they can also progress. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Priye. And I think that you'll be a huge resource to the hubs as they seek to build skills in emerging technologies. Dr. Natu, you are the School of Business as head of marketing. These days, there's digital. How is you as an HOD and the department also positioning itself to be able to build more capacity in digital marketing and also work with the innovation hubs in the Upper West region to improve the frontier in digital marketing, for instance?
Yeah, thank you very much. As a marketing department, we also have these digital marketing tuition courses that we are teaching our students. We also, as we consult, for instance, with the Cosmos Innovation Center, and we are giving training to the youth on entrepreneurial training. And we also are, just like this platform, also trying to also reach out to the youth in order to help them understand the importance of digital transformation. Of course, when it comes to market, as Dr. Igala mentioned, he said, they lose a doctor, they lose a patient when the patient leaves. Of course, that is one aspect that we should be looking, though we should not be looking at it in the negative sense, but we should also try to understand that we need to use this opportunity to create job opportunities for ourselves. It's good that you know how to create your own platforms that would help you to get access to market the world over. People are selling from, let's say, Upper West here, and they are able to reach people in the international markets, US, Europe, and the likes. So it is a huge opportunity for you people and for us all to try to take advantage of these opportunities and training hubs that we have in our sector to develop our skills in it and also take advantage to participate in the global market. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Natu. Dr. Ghana, you are from the School of Engineering, is that not it? Applied science, right? That is even more interesting. What opportunities do you foresee in leveraging applied sciences? Well, of course, when we say digital and innovation, they are enablers. I would say they are enablers. We already have the issues we are dealing with. So what issues are you dealing with in applied sciences that are very relevant, say, in the Upper West region, that can be enabled by digital and innovation? What opportunities do you see?
Okay, thank you. I think as for the opportunities, there are so many of them. It's just that we have to make a point. For instance, we have so many businesses in the Upper West. They are kind of resistant to change. But I think with the right education...
Sometimes change is not comfortable.
Sure, that is very true. But I think we can't leave it at that. We have to make conscious efforts to convince individuals, business owners, organizations to adapt these ICT tools so that with the training we are giving to the youth, the training I think sometimes, if you come to the formal level, like I teach programming, sometimes you are required to teach a full programming language for just a semester. That appears like you are preparing the person to just pass exams. The person doesn't get to feel the true get the true feeling of the course. So you go out and you are not able to apply it very well. So I think with the right training and we being able to convince individuals and organizations to adopt these transformational technologies, we'll be able to do a lot. But it all boils down to skills, acquiring the right skills. For instance, you go to teach programming, then you feel that what you are supposed to teach, you need to take some steps back to get the person to the level that he or she can actually do the programming. So to do this, I think we should look at introducing these skills at the basic level. Maybe from the basic school, we can start training digital skills. So with that, they'll be able to convince individuals to accept these changes. For instance, you can develop an app, maybe not necessarily the first try you develop an app for somebody, the person is not interested in it. You can probably, because of the charges, you are charging the person. So you can give it to the person and maybe put a little restrictions on it so that the person can use it alongside with the traditional way he or she operates the business. So that if the person gets to get the benefits of the app, the person should be able to adapt. So there are so many opportunities. It's just about acquiring the right skills and convincing organizations and individuals to embrace these tools. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ghana. Dr. Igala, service-oriented Dr. Igala. What is your new service in this attempt to collaborate with different stakeholders for digital transformation and impact? I mean, I just want to add this to it that I know you are from health background, but what opportunities do you think, for instance, your colleagues on the panel, what areas do you feel there could be some collaboration to ensure that we are able to share resources, we are able to leverage our resources, and that for digital transformation and impact?
Thank you very much. Before I move to the collaboration, I think Dr. Ghana made a very interesting point that change is, very vital, in our digital transformation. If you recall, I know a good number of us might have used what we used to call Walkman.
Yes.
How often do you see Walkman in our current dispensation?
It's gone.
It's gone. So you ask yourself, where did it go to? Why did it suddenly, disappear? It's because we refuse to think. Why? Because, we did not see the future. In fact, if you read literature, they will tell you why Nokia failed. Because Nokia did not actually embrace the concept of innovation. When Samsung and Apple started bringing in some dimension of innovation, Nokia thought they were on their own. In fact, someone was at their comfortable zone. Unfortunately, it didn't sustain them. But there are a lot of history that has, narrated how technologies, innovations have failed. BlackBerry is another typical example. MySpace, another example. All these technologies fail because of what? Their failure to innovate. So if we fail to innovate, obviously we are failing to what? To fail. So as much as possible, we need to buy in the concept of what? Change. And change means that you are changing for a better, service. So I'm coming back to the service point. So we need a new form of doing business. We cannot be doing business the same old way. Now, AI is thinking for the medical practitioner. So you go to the hospitals, they are sitting on their PCs 24/7. The PC is now doing the consulting, for the doctor. He is just interpreting what the AI algorithm is telling him. So it means that a time will come, some of our professions will no longer be what? Relevant. So it means that we will have to train ourselves to fit into that future. Because it's obvious that, AI is virtually taking over our jobs. It is something which is rare. This is not 666. Please note it. So put the religious aspect of it. In fact, it is happening gradually. A time will come, most of us wouldn't have job to do because you can sit in the home and do virtually everything. Because if I can sit in the home and consult my app to tell me why I'm having headache and I can walk to pharmacy or drugstore, or if I can even order, not necessarily just work, I just order. So it means that the brick and mortar shop out there is even not safe. Because time will come, I can have my goods in my garage and just put them online and sell. So the concept of change is important in innovation. And that comes to the aspect of what we're trying to collaborate well. Because if you don't collaborate and don't network, it is hard for you to actually actualize that innovative concept, because innovation as a component of what? Connectivity, where we need stakeholders involvement. So for Nani Hub and other groups who are doing a very fantastic job, I think it is a good pedestal that I think we must all embrace. Other government, or what do you call it, agencies can also come in to support us in this way. But like we all know, government is overwhelmed, so we cannot put all the burden on government. But in our own little way, there are some agencies, individuals, what do you call it, groups, cooperatives that we can also leverage to enhance our skill. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all about information asymmetry. Most of these groups have very brilliant and innovative ideas, but commercializing, those ideas becomes a challenge. My students are here, so I always challenge them that if I give you a task, I want to see the novelty in that task. Come out with something novel for someone to see and say, wow. Then in that case, we move along and find how we can improve upon it so that we can sustain the business and make life better for all of us. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Igala. Madam Yopo, you are from the Northern Development Authority. Right?
Maybe you like mentioning this.
Yes.
So let's go on.
Yes, it's a very important organization. What are you seeing in terms of areas for collaboration for digital transformation and impact in the Upper West region?
Okay, so for NDA, we have a 6-year, a 5-year strategic plan, and in that there's a youth component, which looks at empowering the youth for the economic pillar of one of the strategic plans. And what I see is that we could fit in this digitalization issue in that particular pillar. I see that the youth are more in tune with the digitalization issues, which I am happy about, because that is the way to go. Because the elderly, they would enjoy and benefit from it, but getting involved in it to get apps out there, to become developers, we can say they are out of space. So the youth, for that reason, are in the space, and we can leverage on this particular strategy plan that has to do with the economic empowerment of the youth and have it embedded in it. We really haven't, in the strategic plan, it doesn't clearly state digitalization, but our collaborations and talks are things that can lead the organization at the head office level to know that this is something that we can fit into that particular portion. And usually what happens is that there are region-specific activities that can go on. So if our region decide that this is what we want to do, why not? The opportunity will be given for us to do at Northern Development Authority.
Right. Thank you very much. And I'm excited about this because on the panel, we have people and institutions that can help in this collaboration. Especially if an NDA, for instance, looks at how to leverage digital and innovation emerging technologies in helping address some of the issues that we have. We are talking about droughts. We are talking about water-assisted, water technology-assisted dams and things like that. I mean, these can be taught through if we are collaborating together, sharing our expertise.
Yes, and more especially even for the business communities, to get them get their businesses running.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. The mic is coming to you, Dr. Free. I mean, this is the concluding part of our panel, where all of us will take the same question, which is, what do you want to see in the 2025 Ghana Digital and Innovation Week with respect to Upper West region? What do you think we can add? Which areas do we think we can improve to ensure that there's a specific focus on digital transformation and impact for the Upper West region?
Okay, thank you very much. But please permit me to ask your audience one question.
Okay.
Because there is this course we usually
We'll need
take.
one volunteer to answer this one.
Yes. Can computers think? Can computers think? Yes or no?
Yeah. Please, no, they need human to program them, so they can think.
Thank you very much. And thank you for that answer. You see, sometimes when you are confronted with this question, can computers think? Because computers are able to do a lot of work to assist us, we think they're able to think, but no. It needs human reasoning to be able to do that. So permit me to say this with no offense, that a time is coming that some professions will wipe off. A time is coming. But I always tell my students that for us teachers, no, because computers cannot think for us, you cannot take over our jobs. Sorry to say, if you go to the banking hall, now robots are there to be able to do these withdrawals and deposits. So what will be the work of the cashier or the tellers? So it tells you that we need to think very well, look at how we can also employ artificial intelligence. Now we are in a way artificial intelligence, in a way machine learning, in a way deep learning, going to generative AI. So yes, coming back to what you are saying, next year I expect these innovators, programmers, to be able to build systems that are robust, systems that will solve real-time problems in the society. Thank you very much.
Dr. Friye, can you take this up as a project so that in 2025, around this time when we gather here, you will bring the people that you are describing for them to come and present?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Natu.
Yeah.
Yes, the same question in terms of what you want to see in the next edition.
Okay, thank you very much. He said, without human mind, computers cannot think. In similar way, I would say that without access to internet, without access to the infrastructure that we need to be able to take advantage of all these technologies and develop, then of course we will not be heading anywhere. And also, we spoke about digital being able to opportunities for yourself, and we mentioned kicked out of the market. Remember that it is not that they did not try to develop. They were developing, all right, their Symbian and whatever. But what made it fail? It's because they failed to consider the consumers. They failed to consider what we want. So I would urge you that even with the development that people are going to see, that all what you are trying to develop, you are considering what consumers want in the future. Foresee the future, try to come out with something that works and develop that. Eating what we keep seeing. If you keep
focus more on people so that individual capacities to bridge the gap. Thank you very much.
Dr. Igala.
Thank you very much. To conclude, what I would say that yes, the technology is good. Innovation is non-negotiable. We need to innovate. But just like Dr. Kana said, it's not a technology that will change you, but rather it is the human that will bring or that will initiate that change. The technology is just there to drive that change. That is the reason why Apple will always say that they are the top, because they are able to use that kind of a human-centered approach, to outpower all their competitors. It's because they are listening to the consumers. What do we want? And that is what they are trying to embed into their system. So everyone will want to use Apple. Why? Because it gives them that kind of a utility that they desire. So it's about listening to what the consumers want and then giving them exactly what they want, and not repeating what they want, but try to find a way to also improve upon it. So yes, as much as we want to innovate, let's also think about the culture of we the people. How do we envisage, or how do we even make good use of existing technologies? So let's always consider the culture of those who are going to use the technology, or those whom we want to throw these technologies on them to use, so that they will now embrace it, because it's only when they embrace that innovation that that drive or that objective could be attained. Other than that, sustainability will be a problem. So let's consider those who are going to use it, and then we can generate that desired goal or that desired need that we need from implementing innovation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Igala. Madam Yopo.
Okay, thank you very much. So in all of what has been discussed, and in the conclusion remarks, if the yesterday 11 of them went through the, what would I call it? Was it a competition sort of?
Hackathon.
Yes. The question I kept asking them was, did you research to see whether people are ready to use this app that you want to develop? A number of them did. But even with the numbers they did, we have about over 1,000 carpenters, and you've spoken to just 2 carpenters to develop an app. Will it be feasible? Yeah, so I'm just adding my voice to what they're saying, that young developers are here. And I was very much thrilled about the much younger ones who are up and coming. So what I would say I look forward to seeing next year is that the young ones, each of them possibly should have had a research work on an app that they can develop to solve some problems within the region. That is what I look up to seeing. And the much older ones who already have developed it, yes, I would hope and pray that by next year, it should be out there so that it's usable. But they can go back to the drawing board to check the users of these apps they are developing. Are they really going to be useful to them? Do they really need it? And they should tweak it in a way to suit the purposes of the users. And finally, to you, the nice ones that we saw up there, I hope that you are not going back with them. You can leave it with non-hub so that when we also have programs in Upper West, we can use them to do our registrations.
Non-hub will have to make some investments very soon in these technologies.
Yes, so the collaborations from the agencies and giving them the opportunity so that they can train more of these young ones is what I look up to seeing next year.
Right, thank you very much. I think a round of applause. They have really into the topic for discussion. And as I wrap up, I'd like to just highlight issues that they concluded on. For Dr. Friye, he's looking at generative AI, and I admonish him that he should take it up as a project so that next year, 2025, Ghana Digital and Innovation Week, our regional program, would have some of the generative AI startups pitching here, and also have some investors that will be interested in putting some investment into their projects. For Dr. Natu, yours was mainly around enhanced digital infrastructure, investments in market creating innovations, very important, that innovations are market creating, they are innovating within new markets to ensure that they don't come out doing the same thing that others have done. Lastly, from Madam Maria Yopo, yours also on research, the fact that we need to get our innovators, especially those that work through our hackathons, to concentrate on research, market research, that enables them to be able to solve some of the development challenges that we have, and also create new markets within the Upper West region and in WA. Thank you very much, distinguished panelists, for doing justice to the topic and also sharing some cues for us in our quest for digital transformation and impact in the Upper West region. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening. I've been told that the audience wants to ask some questions, but I was given only 2 minutes to wrap up. So I had to quickly wrap up before the question. So I think, Madam MC, you can allow for 5 minutes of questions? Yes. Thank you very much, Smaila, for the reminder.
Please, okay, beautiful. Thank you very much. Interesting discussion. Well delivered. Great job, everyone. Mine is just a contribution. Last week I was in Kenya. I saw something very interesting on digital skills. The government of Kenya has one of their polytechnic, Rift Valley Polytechnic precisely. They have a whole center where they are training almost all the rural people. In fact, most of them are even in the polytechnic. Some are not even in school. They're actually training them on digital skills. They have a room almost about 3 times the size. And what they are doing is that they have a trainer, a student, who is a trainer from the polytechnic, who knows these digital skills. And this person, I think their trade areas they learn or something. So these guys are working with Elon Musk, and they are training these youth, thousands of them, and they are making money. In fact, they could actually open the screen, so they will train them on a particular thing, and then especially what I saw was a road design. And then so they were teaching them, so when the car is veering off, then they bring it back, and that sort of thing, trying to keep the car in the lane. And by doing that, at the end of the day, they earn money. And I saw even somebody's account, $2,000. So I was saying, oh, if we have things like this in digital skills training, why are we not doing anything? So in fact, my recommendation from here would be that you are here, GIZ is here, you are here, the Ghana network hubs, you are here, and all the innovators are here. What can we do about this? Are we just going to sleep about this? We are having this week, I know it's very usual, that after today, we all go back and sleep, because that is what we enjoy doing. Please, from here, you ask them a question, and I think that is why I'm hammering on this really. What can we do to help the youth of Upper West using digital skills? We are complaining of poverty, and we are saying the essence of this is for what? For job creation. If we have this knowledge, let's get our youth trained. Let's get our brothers trained. Let's alleviate poverty with digital skills. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. I think I can just 30 seconds to highlight this. What you saw in Kenya is huge. I mean, some of us in the ecosystem, we've seen the same thing. And that's why we are particular about collaboration. And that's because of collaboration, that you have government, the private sector, and academia working together and creating those opportunities. Interestingly, in Ghana, we have the infrastructure. We have the community information centers. We have in Kenya, they don't have a developed innovation hub system. Even in Ghana, our innovation hubs are more developed than in Kenya and Rwanda. The reason being that over there, it is dominated by Europeans who come to start up in their economy. Over here is different. I mean, look at the work that Noni Hub, Sumaila, and Yisin are doing. All they need is for us in academia, for agencies and government agencies to sit down together with them so that they can develop such programs. Once they develop such programs, there will be funding that will come in. I mean, the MasterCard Foundation, for instance, is funding a lot of these projects, skills development across Ghana. When you see young people innovates program, it's funded by the MasterCard Foundation. It's basically around digital skills. And I think Sumaila, your Noni Hub is doing a bit of that. But we need to scale. Our challenge in Ghana is scaling. Our challenge in Ghana is scaling. We need to be able to scale to the point where you go into a room, like you come to the regional library in Wa, for instance, and there will be a section, you have hundreds of young people being trained. Or you go to the technical university, or you go to UBITS or other places, and we find that there are constant training, not just people who are in school, but even our mothers and our sisters and our brothers who are using their mopeds, selling their goods and on the streets and things like that. They need that training to be able to facilitate more of business and also enhance the local economy. So I do agree with you, but we are not going to sleep. I mean, you can ask Noni help. Some of us, one of the things that is very particular to us is what do we do between now and the next 2025. That's why I'm admonishing Dr. Friye to take on that skills development as a project. So that if we need to develop as a project, Noni Hub is here, Ghana Hub Network is here, we can develop the necessary project design and then get the funding to be able to get that done. I mean, that's why we're having the discussion, where we can have a discussion around some of the opportunities that we are drawing, and then us in this room working together and drawing the attention of national government. We have to start at the local level before we draw the attention of national government and organizations like the National Development Authority, right? The Northern Development Authority, to be able to put some budget in there so that we get things going. And our partners from the GIZ and things like that who continuously support our innovation hubs. So we will take that admonition as a feather in our cap to get us to do more. And we will do more, and we will call on you because you have amazing skills and networks that we need to be able to leverage on. Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Any other question?
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Mine regards a question that Dr. Afriye asked. He asked that, can AI think? And the general answer was no. So they assume that it's less of a threat to teachers in the future. But I think that maybe in the future that AI can be made to think through a series of processes. Can I ask a question? Why do I want my answer to be based on thinking, not on facts?
I like that.
So the question goes, why do tortoises have shells? Tortoises have shells.
Who would be brave enough to take this? I think our man from the health sector will help us. Is that a question?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Dr. Igala will help answer.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay. I think the young man wants to challenge nature. Why I say so because I would have also asked, why are human beings living? In fact, why do you even exist in the first place? Yes, if you read science, obviously you know there are certain things that are created by what? Nature. You can't, you can't challenge it. Unless, of course, you're an atheist who believe that the world was, evolved by
the Big Bang Theory.
In fact, those conspiracy theories and whatnot. Now, the concept of nature is not about how you migrate your thinking, into that of the computing. Okay? Cognitive skills will tell you that by nature, human beings are born to, possess some kind of abilities. And it is those abilities that we embed into other, entities or other nature, either living or non-living. So the reason why tortoises have shells is because by nature, they are supposed to be created so. Because the shell is there to protect, is to offer some kind of protective mechanism to that, tortoise. The reason why the chameleon will change from one color to the other is because it wants to protect itself. That is why it must change from one color to the other. So that is nature. You can't challenge it. But we must, transform that thinking into another form that at least human beings can also make use of it. That is why we can import our cognitive skill into the computing device to be able to perform certain tasks for us. So as to why the tortoise have shells, that one we can't question nature, but we should also ask ourselves, why are we even living as human beings, or why do we even exist? If that question will come, then I think we will properly understand why the tortoise have shells. Are you convinced? If you are not convinced, let me confuse you further, or I should confuse you.
I think we are 10 minutes behind time. for our next engagement.
There's
So
a question at
maybe the
back.
last one.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my question is like in Upper West here, we have the developers all right, but my colleagues can testify we don't like working like dealing with Upper West projects because the pressure is always too much. You can take like a project in Upper West here, the pressure that you get here will not be compared to you.
Can you describe the nature of the pressure?
Pressure
Like the
from
pressure
who?
from the
Your client.
yes, your client. They'll give you the pressure is always too much as compared to you working or you taking an outside project to work on. And maybe the money you are going to earn self cannot be compared to the southern project. So mostly that's why like we have the ideas for it, but like the pressure in northern here is always too much. So how do we
Manage that
yes,
pressure.
manage that?
You see, what you lack is customer, service. You are unable to manage your customer well. Are you particular? I've been teaching you in class, and I've consistently, mentioned or hammering on the point that your customer is a key actor in whatever you do. As much as possible, try and communicate well. It's all about communication, and that is their problem. You don't communicate well with your customers or your clients. There's a consultant here, so come. There's a marketing personnel here. See them for proper consultation. So please, you know the culture of your people. So you must also understand the kind of culture or the kind of environment in which you live and you do business. Culture is key. And I repeat again, I taught you the same in class, that you must understand the kind of cultural dynamic that surrounds you to be able to understand them and work to meet their needs. The culture here is the same as the culture there. We those here, sometimes we are not patient enough. Because when you delay the project, and we also need it, that quick, you may not withstand, that pressure. So communicate well with them. If you communicate well with them, I don't see why your customer should be on your neck. It's perhaps, maybe you're also not being honest. Let me also put it that way. Because you promise today, you don't deliver. So it will also be, the problem could come from you. So the bottom line is that it's all about good client service.
Yeah, and then just to add a bit to it, it's also about market creating innovation. I've seen in this room recently Ghana Hubs Network and then the Legatum Center at MIT and GEA, we had a collaboration on market creating innovation bootcamp. And sometimes when we are creating innovations, we don't look for disruption in the market. I mean, like as you are saying, it might not be coming from just you. It might be coming from others as well. But you need to disrupt that market. You need to be able to change the dynamics, But how do you do that? You need to understand the customers. You need to be able to engage them. You need to engage in stakeholder dialogue. Engage them very well. And then you work on their pain points, the issues that pain them. That is the way you have to work on. Once you work on those pain points, then they're able to open their wallet for you. But if you're not working on their pain points, they will not open their wallet for you. It might not be that they may not pay you enough. The money might be here. But because you are not working on their pain points to help them to ease their pains, they will give you small money. Thank you very much.
Can I ask
Yes,
something?
yes, Doc.
Okay, so I think the other issue is we give unrealistic deadlines. I was doing an app for one of the leading radio stations, a Google profile app. And the guy asked me how long it would take. I say, I can use 1 week to do it. But the Google profile app has to be published by Google. I don't have control over that. Then, before we ended the meeting, he told me that I said I would deliver the thing in 1 week. I said, no. I can finish my work in 1 week. But the publishing, Google have to verify it and now publish it for you to be able to use it. I don't have control over that. He agreed. In a week's time, he was telling me to bring the assessor. I told him no. That was not the agreement. So we need to be very transparent and communicate clearly with our clients. That will help.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ghana. And I think at this point, we'll bring the panel discussion to a close. And thank you all for listening and also sharing your insight with us. Thank you.
Please, let's appreciate them. Thank you very much, panelists, for exuding such array of knowledge. We are humbled. And per the engagement, I believe we would have loved for the conversation to keep going, isn't it? Would we love the conversation to keep going? Would we love the conversation to keep going? Hello? 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 Okay. But then we can